What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what the sales for Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 will be. Now, I know what Miles Morales did. I want to talk about that in this video. I didn't want to just make the video talking about Miles Morales' sales again, because we've actually talked about it 2 times. Obviously, every new time they talk about the game's sales, it continues to just either break records or do incredible, which is awesome. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing or anything, but I want to talk about what that could mean for Spider-Man 2. And I think a lot of people have been saying that, where it's like, dear Jesus, Miles is doing incredible. We know how incredible Spider-Man 1 did, right? What is it? What in God's name does Spider-Man 2 actually do? And I think it's going to be maybe one of the biggest games of all time, which is truly a testament to the game itself, to I guess not even the game, but the franchise of Spider-Man, and what Sony obviously has at their disposal, that I really didn't expect it to be this big. Okay, I expected it to be big, but not this big. But I want to talk about all of that in this video. So before we do that, if you guys have not yet already, make sure you guys are subscribed. A lot of the people that watch my content are not subscribed. We're pushing 50K subscribers, so we need people that are not subscribed, obviously, to subscribe. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And if you haven't already, follow me over on Twitter. PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. Link for that is in the description below. All right, so to get the Miles stuff out of the way first, if you guys didn't see it, and this is about a week old at this point, Miles has outsold The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima in total sales in the U.S. Now, not put together, but separately. So it sold more than The Last of Us Part 2 did in the U.S., and it sold more than Ghost of Tsushima did in the U.S. Now, I don't think, because they didn't say it in that article, I don't think it's beaten their sales in general yet. It's only a matter of time for Ghost. Ghost did well. It did actually pretty darn well, but it didn't do like the greatest thing of all time. So I do think Miles will probably beat that within another, 1 to 3 months, let's say. The Last was Part 2. There was obviously that controversy, which, I've said this, I say it like every single time. I didn't like specific things in the game. I don't think it's a perfect game. I don't think it's a Game of the Year game. I didn't like specific things. I loved other things. And, that's obviously gotten me in trouble. It gets anybody in trouble who ever talks about this game. But when the game came out, afterwards, like a couple weeks later, there were all these videos and all these articles running with the people basically either returning the game, or the game's sales massively dropped. All of the stuff that was meant to be clicking it because it was a big deal, I guess, right? Not like hate clicks, but just something like that. And I never did a video on that because I never really wanted to be a part of that. Because in reality, what we've learned from The Last of Us, and this kind of connects back to Spider-Man, is that The Last of Us Part 2 has actually continued to sell very well every single month since it's come out. Now, it's slowed, I believe, over the last couple months, but the first 6 months, the game actually did really, really well. I think just the drop the week after is much like a big movie, where if you have a thing that's so popular, everybody does it day 1 or week 1, and then there's not as many people the second week, so there's a bigger drop than maybe another kind of thing, because you already have the most people doing it. So I never, again, I don't like certain parts of the game. I don't blindly love the game, but I don't get that part of the hate of The Last of Us. But the point is, The Last of Us did well week 1. We all know that. And also, again, against what people maybe wanted it to do, it did well several months after the game came out. And Miles still beat it. Miles still beat that game. So, now again, not in all sales, but I think it's only a matter of time until that happens as well. Look, the first time that Miles, we knew the sales figures, it wasn't good. It flat out wasn't good. And it was because it seemed like nobody wants to play this game on PS4. I get it. I play this game on PS5. I don't think I'd ever want to play this game on PS4 after I play on PS5, because it's really not even the most, there's not even the most differences in the game, okay? It's not a game that's made for the PS5. The DualSense controller obviously helps it, but it's incredible, obviously, how many people have basically waited to get the PS5, or waited to play Miles until they got the PS5. So, look, Spider-Man, rumor has it, has sold over 20 million units, okay? That's just a rumor. I think the official thing is it's definitely sold over 15, but I don't think it's confirmed that it's 20. Miles, at this point, the recent one is somewhere in that 3 to 5 million range. I really think Miles can do 10 to 12 million units. I really think so. And that is absolutely insane for a like a glorified DLC. Now, again, that's not like saying anything against it, and I'm just throwing it in there because people still sometimes look at it like that. It's a game. To me, it's a kind of like a full-length game. You pay obviously less than you would for a full game for it, but you get, you know, a solid 7-8 hour story. If you platinum it could probably take you around like 12-13 hours. Like, it's good. It's a really solid game, and it's gonna do maybe half of what Spider-Man did, but still, I mean, 10+ million units for a game like Miles is incredible. So what, and again, it seems to be selling PS5s. People are waiting to play the game until they get the PS5. So the power that Spider-Man continues to have is absolutely insane. So what does that mean for Spider-Man 2? I mean, I feel like Spider-Man 2 can honestly break. Now, okay, Call of Duties, they're kind of untouchable. GTAs, Red Deads, Red Dead actually doesn't even come close to GTA. Like, when GTA 5 came out, GTA games break the world. I don't know if you guys know that. GTA 4 broke the world. GTA 5 broke the world. They make more money than like, say, an Endgame does in like 2 days, okay? It's absolutely insane how big that kind of franchise is. So we're not talking that level, okay? We're not talking about something like that. We're not talking about even Call of Duty. Call of Duty normally is like the highest grossing product of the entire year, even though it comes out like in October or November, and it takes up the whole year. So this game I don't think is that level, and one of the reasons is because it's only on one console. But look, if we're thinking like the game comes out next year, say like late 2022, I don't know the exact number, but let's say there's around 20 to 30 million PS5s. I could see within the first couple months this game doing much, much better than Now, I believe Spider-Man sold 3.3 million units, either like within the first couple days or within the first week, something like that. It did incredible. I would not be surprised. I don't think it would double, but I think it would get close to doubling, okay? Now, again, I don't think it's going to sell like 40 million units because at the time, there won't even be 40 million people that have the PS5. But I talk about Nintendo when I talk about their sales. One thing I'm always impressed with Nintendo about is their attachment rate. But the idea is that Nintendo, the Switch has like 65 million units sold, and they have some games that have sold 20, 30, 35 million units. So almost half the people that have a Switch have certain, exclusive games, which is unheard of because that doesn't happen with PlayStation or Xbox. There is not half of Xbox that has Halo. There's not half of PlayStation that has The Last of Us. In fact, for like the PS4, let's say, for The Last of Us Part 2, it had like probably less than, maybe around like a 10% attachment rate, whereas Nintendo sometimes has 50%. So it's incredible what happens with the Switch, where like people that have the Switch, no joke, they buy those games, and it's a very high percentage of people that actually get them. I think, so where I'm going with this is, I think when Spider-Man 2 comes out, that could be PlayStation's first really big game that kind of matches that, where it's like, oh my, 50, 60, 65% of people that have a PS5 have Spider-Man 2. That's so like, you could throw numbers around, but we don't really know how many PS5s will be out there at the time this game, because it doesn't even have to come out next year. It could come out at a different time. We don't know how many PS5s would be out. We don't know how much the game would actually sell, but I do think if we're looking at the attachment rate, how many people that have a PS5 that then get, and I'm assuming that the game is PS5 exclusive, which honestly I don't think is bad whatsoever, because you bought a PS4 for Spider-Man if you didn't have one already. If you played Spider-Man, you either had the PS4 already or you bought it specifically to play Spider-Man. So people have done it once, they'll do it again. Trust me, they will. Okay, and I think that's something you need. I always talk about how the next gen consoles need things to get people to buy the console. And again, I get this generation is different because you can't find the console. Obviously, it's expensive in the economy and all that stuff. But, my general gist, is that there needs to be reasons to buy it. So I think Spider-Man is a perfect reason to buy the PS5. They're already doing it with Miles. I mean, it's not even PS5 exclusive, and truly, by the numbers, it really seems like people don't want to play this game on PS4. They're more than willing to wait until they get a PS5 to then get Miles. So imagine Spider-Man 2. whether it's PS5 exclusive or not, I really, again, I don't think it needs to be on both. Absolutely not. But if it's only on PS5, I think you'll get a very high amount of people that have the PS5 to get the game, okay? So more like attachment rates, 20, 30, 40%. And you'll have a lot of people that have a PS4 that just, break basically and say, okay, I will get the PS5 for this game. Doesn't even have to be good. Now, if it's not good, that obviously hurts Sony and Insomniac and Spider-Man down the line, but it'll still be fine. It'll still work for them, at the current time. You know what I mean? So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? How much do you think Spider-Man 2 will sell? You think it'll beat Spider-Man 1? Let me know. As always, make sure, again, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you guys know when all these videos go up. Give the video a like if you did actually like it. And make sure, if you haven't already, follow me over on Twitter if you have a Twitter. PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. Link for it is in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.